Hi, and welcome to Growing Your Private Practice Virtually. Today we're going to be discussing a couple of tips and tools that you can use to virtually grow your private practice. We'll be speaking about blogging, content creation, social media, building referral relationships, and creating your own workshop. So we'll start off with blogging, and I know what you're thinking. You're already starting off with something I can't stand, and a lot of people don't like to create blog posts, write blog posts in general, and I completely get it. It can seem a little bit overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it, you'll really be great at it and you'll continue to do it. So writing blog posts can definitely give you an opportunity to reach out to your potential client. For instance, if you specialize in anxiety, you would probably want to write a blog post like 5 ways to help control your anxiety or help manage your anxiety. And in writing that blog post, it would be very, very beneficial to include a personal experience. So the person that is your potential client is getting very helpful tips right off the beginning, but also getting to know you as a therapist, which makes people very comfortable and more willing to actually have therapy with you if they feel like they already know you. Even if you have existing clients and they read some of your blog posts because they follow you on social media, and of course you're going to be sharing your blog posts on social media, they may get to know you on a different level, which is very great. You would also definitely use blog posts to create organic, reusable content. This is something that's very good when it comes to social media and content creation, which we'll definitely get to in the next section. Another great way to grow your practice with blog posts is by having affiliate links. So say that you refer a book and you write a blog post around that book specifically, you can add the affiliate link. Let's say you're an affiliate with Amazon. You can add that link to the bottom of the blog post itself, and then if someone does click on it and makes a purchase, then you do get a cut from the purchase being made. So that's definitely all of the great ways to utilize blogging as a therapist. So let's go to content creation. So within content creation, I always highly suggest making your own original reusable content. And we can definitely do this by using our blog posts. So for instance, if you have that blog post on 5 ways to manage anxiety, you can make 5 different graphics to post on social media and link all of those graphics back to the blog post itself. This is definitely going to create traffic through your website, and that is definitely beneficial for your website, your practice, you in general. Another thing that you could do with the blog post itself is you can make an infographic, you can make a PDF handout that you're going to probably give over to your referral sources, which we'll get to. You can make checklists, you can make anything out of those blog posts in general that are informational. Any educational and informational blog posts you can definitely create into content. You could always obviously share the blog post itself to your social media pages, which is very well so recommended. But you want to also share it in a way where it's grabbing people's attention, and creating graphics and infographics and PDF handouts and checklists and things like that are definitely a great way to get people interested. Another thing that you can do is also create an email blast specifically out of the blog post itself. So that's definitely beneficial because you are providing an email blast that is original content, and it's definitely a great way to get them to read the whole blog post. You don't want to put the whole blog post in the email email newsletter, but just give them a little bit of it and then give them the opportunity to click onto the blog post itself, and it'll lead them back to your website to where they hopefully decide that they want to get to know a little bit more about you as a therapist. So those are definitely great ways to create content, especially original, reusable content that comes straight from your blog post. So with social media, and social media is going to be the next thing that we go on to. So within social media, you definitely want to keep people engaged. You want people to know your relevancy, and you want people to get a feel for you as a therapist. So by creating and sharing your own original content, that definitely does get the potential client, to know more about you as a person and to definitely get to know you as well too. So within doing this, what you'll want to do is have your social media page set up to where you post different things every day. Posting once per day is definitely probably, the least you should do. If you do more, that's great, but if you do less, it's probably not going to be very, very beneficial. You also want to make sure you stay consistent. So let's say you post 3 graphics each week, and those graphics are definitely based off of your blog post. And then you post maybe 1 blog post, and then you have a graphic that's like an uplifting graphic or a informative graphic as well too. You mainly want to be sharing on your social media only your content, because you want it to be organic and you want it to also be your original reusable content that you can keep using and using over and over again. Another thing that I also recommend for my therapists is if you specialize in something, create a Facebook group around it. You can join all types of Facebook groups specifically for mental health in general. If you see that there are a lot of posts about people saying that they struggle with anxiety and that's what you specialize in, then comment on those posts and share your group within that group so that you can create a group of followers. This will also come in handy when you do go to produce workshops and sell workshops. If you already have a group, a Facebook group that is literally surrounded by your specialty, anxiety, depression, PTSD, trauma, anything like that, then you know that that group is probably going to benefit from your free videos that you give out, your PDFs, your checklists, your paid workshops that you also are going to be getting to the clients as well too. So that's something that's very beneficial and we'll get to in our workshop section. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is growing your private practice through referral sources. So you will typically have you will typically meet a referral source in person. So you meet them, you get their business card, but then what do you do after that? I mean, just keep their business card? You probably want to follow up with them, and that's where the virtual part of it comes in. So you will definitely want to follow up with them through email or calling them. Email is definitely highly recommended. Hey, I met you at this event. I do specialize in anxiety and depression, and I think that we would be a good referral source for each other. Here is a PDF handout that you can either display in your office or hand out to clients that you feel need to be in therapy or are struggling with anxiety or depression, or here's a checklist that maybe you can do with them. And if you get through the checklist and it comes out that they do need some specific help with anxiety, depression, whatever you specialize in, then you can give them a PDF saying, hey, here's some helpful tips, and here's a therapist that also specializes in what you're struggling with. This is very good because your best clients will probably come from referrals. So going back to having a social media page, they are most likely going to look you up before they give you a call. So if they look you up and you have tons of content and very helpful posts and graphics on anxiety and depression or whatever they're struggling with, they're going to feel like you're the right person for them. So, and then hopefully give you a call because they're going to check out your website, see what you have to offer, give you a call, and that way to land the client. So building referral sources are very important. Most of them will happen in person. However, how you follow up with the referral source itself is very important. Sending them a quick email with a PDF attachment is something that can be very beneficial for them and very beneficial for you as well too. So now we'll move on to workshops. So you may not be ready to create a workshop now. However, there may be a point where everything else is flowing great and everything's moving along wonderfully, and you say, you know what, I would really like to have some workshops. Even if it's just free workshops to kind of get people's attention to start with, and then building that into an actual paid workshop. So for instance, if you use your social media page that you created for people struggling with anxiety, so a group with people that are struggling with anxiety, and you're giving them these free videos, these little helpful tips, but then you do a poll within that Facebook group saying, hey, what would you like to know more about? What would you like to learn? And then you create a workshop solely based upon that. You're probably going to have much better results on selling that workshop than anything else, because you have a following of people that are struggling with your specific specialty, and then you're asking them what they want. Literally, what do you want? What do you want what do you want to see in a workshop? If I was on your page, I would say make a workshop for self-care, because I would buy it. Definitely, I would buy it like right now. Actually, if you make it, email me and I'll buy it. So you never know what someone's struggling with, you never know what they need help with, and if you have a large group of people all saying the same thing, then you know that you can make a workshop based around that. You can always even pre-sell your workshops so that you can pay for things like microphones and lighting and backdrops and things like that as well too. Obviously don't pre-sell a workshop and then don't create it. That would not be very good. It would definitely be frowned upon. But if you did need to get funds before making or creating the workshop, then that's definitely highly recommended as well too. And it gives you a gauge of how many people are actually interested in the workshop. They may say, oh yes, please, I would love that workshop. But then when it comes down to actually doing it, it's a different story. So those are just some things that I feel would be very helpful for you to start growing your private practice. I do anticipate making a workshop surrounded on these topics specifically, giving you more details, some PDF handouts, some checklists, some to-dos, step-by-step instructions on how to create a workshop, how to start blogging, what is the formula for blogging and social media, how to create a social media calendar and content and everything like that. So that workshop is definitely coming soon. It's in the making. I'll be pre-selling it soon. I'm just kidding. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely love for you to reach out and let me know. And if you have any questions or concerns about anything that I went over today, definitely drop a comment, let me know, send me an email. I'll definitely put my email up there so that if you do have some questions, I'm more than happy to answer them as much as possible. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to more free videos and workshops that I will have available for purchase.